Hello, 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 hello tout le monde. J'espère que vous allez bien. J'espère que vous êtes hype. J'espère que vous êtes vraiment très très content de ce petit patch qui est enfin arrivé, qui est enfin arrivé à nous au bout de 2 ans d'inactivité de Royale. 2 ans. Et salut Zona, bienvenue à toi mec. J'espère que vous êtes content, que ce jeu commence à revivre, à renaître de ses cendres tel un phénix. Waouh. Je vais directement voir sur
Ouais,
Steam.
mais sur Steam, le problème c'est que c'est la petite version. Donc c'est pas avec les animations. C'est.
Ouais.
Bah tu verras.
Attends, j'ai Steam ouvert donc attends, je vais voir ça vite fait. En tous les cas, on a le temps, on a plus d'une heure ou deux. Oh, y'a Thor! Y'a Thor qui est invité! How are you hey, Amazon?
C'est
What's
lui
up?
qui dirige le jeu.
Attends, je vais monter un peu le son.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thor, your host today, lead designer on Realm, Royale, Reforged, and I'm joined by the one, the only, Hi-Rez Adam, everybody.
How is it going, and where are we
I'm
excited
good,
to be?
Mazo, I'm good.
Oh, it feels good.
How's it
Like I
going?
said,
And
I
you?
gotta take a moment here. It's 2.5 years in the waiting. I'm back, baby. Daddy's home. Drop your socks and grab your box, baby. It's
En
game
vrai,
time.
Zona, tu
Today
peux
will
rester
be
sur mon
live
live
because we were
ou
talking
pas?
about Realm
Genre juste pour
Royale
que j'aide sur
in
les
depth. We're
petites
talking about
views,
the
tu
new
vois.
patch coming at you guys
Pour le
live
référencement.
after this show. It's
Parce
gonna
qu'en
be
vrai,
good to go, and
ça
we got
peut
a
être
long
pas
show,
mal.
so let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. We are definitely
Et tu
very
peux me dire
excited
si
to be
le
on this
live
with you
est
guys
fluide ou
today.
pas?
Man, this is gonna be great. So we're going
Là,
through
le
and
live
we're
il a l'air
changing
de
kind of a lot of
freeze un
stuff.
peu.
So let's go through and see what you guys think about it.
But
So,
before we get into that,
yeah.
let's take a step back before and talk about number one. Who are you? Who is this? Who's this guy on the set with me? Is it Hi-Rez Adam? What are we going
Yeah,
here, my friend?
that's what we're going with right now. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm the creative director for Realm Royale.
Ok, donc là, ils sont contents de revenir sur les
Before
moyens,
I
en
get to
gros.
work with art and design.
This is Thor. Yeah, this is Thor. Salut, Smia. Yo.
Revisionize. That's
Yeah, this is Thor.
making it up.
Euh...
For you guys.
Y a pas de
Well,
sous-titres.
the reason why we're in this chair, and to take a step
Non,
back here for a
malheureusement.
second, is
Ah,
we
dommage,
need to
c'est pas
highlight
grave.
two sides of a coin. First and
Le
foremost,
direct, je
internally,
suis pas sûr qu'il
Yeah,
fasse
this is
the
Thor.
Oopsies, the Michaels, the people,
Thor is
the Steves
amazing.
who pushed very hard for Realm Royale for the last 2.5 years because they believe something special is here. Then the other side of that coin was you, the community.
Oh,
And,
putain, il y a
gosh dang, you
2300
did.
personnes hein, sur le live.
2.5
Oui,
years
oui.
of,
Tu
Tu te
let's
rends
say,
pas
less
compte que
than
c'est
90
waouh.
servers. We'll say that.
Genre,
But
tout le monde
that
a vu, mec, tu sais que j'ai vu Rim Royal,
you
j'étais
guys
en mode,
showed
attends, il y a
the
dans 40 minutes, il y avait le patch 9, j'étais en mode, ah bah j'arrive. Hein.
you guys just couldn't be beat. You
Ah
came
bah je
back
live, hein.
and
Je live ça tout de suite.
then I
Hein.
got the call, like it would be the sign in the air and be like, Thor, let's try one.
Comment ça va-tu? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Smia. I'm good.
And we're back, baby.
And you?
We're back in a big way, and today marks a
And you can speak
first
English
step,
if you want.
let's say a big
If
step,
you're...
but a
you're
continuous step
English.
from us, and so we're excited. So let's
I am...
without further ado, let's get into what's changing,
You're
why is it
also like
changing,
on
where's it
the...
changing, and how's it changing us.
I want to give
Plate,
notes
yeah,
out to the team
sure.
in general.
Ooh.
Right? Just sort of say we're a group of individuals coming together wearing multiple hats trying to make this thing happen. It's been so great working with the team. Everybody is like all hands on deck, jumping in anywhere they possibly can, outside, inside of their roles. Just want to say mega props to everybody. Hopefully we show this off well. From all the hard work that's gone into it.
Yeah, we to piggyback off that, we are a small team, and
En gros, là, ils expliquent un peu, genre, que pourquoi Karim a pris autant de
because I have
temps.
been in the dev industry before, but
C'était quoi
take a step back,
le but?
step back and look at
Le
all
but
the
en
points that
principe.
we've made in the last 3 months. When I tell you it's a small team, I think you guys are gonna be absolutely blown away with the amount of stuff. I know we're teasing you. We're gonna get into it, but I've just been blown away, and it's been a lot of sleepless
When the
nights, a lot
love
of yelling,
get
a lot of screaming,
told.
trying to go touch grass,
Yeah.
beating on these patch notes, beating on these new weapons, abilities, classes, all that kind of stuff. But I'm proud. At the end of the day, I'm proud. I'm proud to see what my team has gotten to make because without any of them, this wouldn't have been possible. So,
Je fais des fautes, mais je parle français.
Yeah,
So it's fine. Ah, you don't speak French? Okay, it's
we
fine.
definitely feel like this is a game
It's
by
fine,
itself,
but
so
that's...
it's ready to share. It's not
bien.
ready to be considered
Like-
done, right? We want the community to be in it, everybody as much as possible. Go have fun and play our game, you know, and see how we can make it our game and your game together moving forward. Like this is such a great and exciting time to just put it out there and you know be flexible and just.
Ok, d'accord, ok, non. Tu parles français, c'est
I'm really
cool.
excited.
yeah, you mentioned something in past me. It's like it's called
Whoa.
Reforged, and that's because we're reforging with you. We're not done yet. Gosh, we know how much work we got to do, but we thought it was time for you guys to open the gates, let you guys in, and now you guys get to scream at us.
Yeah.
About what? Matt, let's get into
Man,
it.
let's start with some of the updates here, right? So, overview of the changes we got coming out. We had to focus on the pillars to sort of maintain this vision. We wanted some 4 pillars for our game right now.
En gros, là,
So, armor,
ils vont commencer
classes,
par
our
les
loadout,
pillars,
talent
we are
system, that's one
Reforged.
pillar. And
Donc
then
les
the
petites
commitment to the
compétences
community.
style armor,
So,
comme ça.
you want to sort of talk about some of those things?
Yeah, old school Realm is back. So so starting with armor here, and just overall the theme and thematics of it, we had the impossible task of taking old school Realm Royale, things that old school players remember, you know, whether it was patch 1, patch 2,
Donc
patch
il y
3,
aura
patch
il y a
4,
un nouveau système
and going back and
d'armure,
saying,
plus
hey,
de
what did we
runes.
get right back
En
then?
gros,
What were the
maintenant,
things
les
that players
armures
get excited about and
ont les
love,
effets des runes.
and then looking to the
Et
past for inspiration. And one
du
of those
coup,
big ones was armor
Armon,
reload
Canal
in general.
Sauvé,
I think we have a nice
Forged
little
et Upgrade. Donc
cut to actually
les armures peuvent
go to the
être
videos.
forgées
Yep,
dans
show you
les
guys.
forges.
You know, for you old school players,
C'est
you're
cool.
gonna recognize that armor. You're gonna recognize that armor. You're gonna see those buffs and those powers of
Donc là, il
fortitude.
commence à parler des
And we
armures.
kind of landed
Ok.
back on armor here
Donc là, on a un
because,
exemple.
for two reasons. Number one, it was a knob that we could kind of tune throughout the game. You know,
J'étais
bring
maître
from
presque
purple to
de
legendary.
passer sur
As you
jeu,
get
ça
better and
fait
better
2
armor,
saisons
you're
que
getting
j'ai pas
faster,
joué.
harder,
Ouais.
better,
Bah moi,
stronger.
j'étais triple
And
master
players really,
depuis
really like that.
très longtemps.
Armor
Voilà.
obviously turned
Mais
into
oui.
ruins, and then we turned it back
Donc
into
là,
armor.
ouais, on
Because
peut
that was the
vraiment
big feedback
avoir
that we
toutes
had. It was like, hey,
les armures
we love this
légendaires,
armor. We love
c'est
being
tout
able to
sympa.
say, you are going to get faster. Your weapon speed, your weapon reload will get faster. Your weapon swap speed, your cooldown reduction, right? And not only does it give it knobs to developers, us, me, to be
En
able
plus,
to
les
tune
skins sont
weapons and
magnifiques.
abilities to the good point, but also it lets you, the player, visually see that, oh yeah,
Donc
I
là,
am
là, on
getting
gagne de
stronger,
l'armure,
and my
movement
horse is getting
speed,
faster.
ok.
So I think
C'est
design-wise and
super,
from the team,
honnêtement.
I think a lot of old school
Tellement
players
hype.
are going to love it. New school players, give it a shot. I'm expecting a Reddit post, one or two Reddit posts being like, I miss runes. Good news is those gameplay loops will be kind of brought back into the forefront of our game. Lifesteal wasn't afforded to the player in general when it came to armor. However, in Rage, the new warrior ability does have a lifesteal component. So we're looking to bring some of those components of runes back in fun, interesting ways.
Yeah, another thing about armor now, you find them in chests.
Yes.
Right? You can forge them in the forge.
Yes.
You can upgrade them in the
Donc
forge.
là, il parle
So,
de
and
comment
they
est-ce qu'on
do
trouve les armures,
specific
donc dans
things,
les
and
coffres, tout
they're
ça.
maintained, their
Pour ma
rarities,
part, ça
you know,
va, je comprends
you
l'anglais, mais c'est
what they
non,
give you just
je
goes
l'ai
up in
pas.
rarity,
Et
right?
je suis d'accord, c'est
So
super.
there's a
En vrai,
very clear way
déjà,
for
j'ai été
players
joué un
to
petit peu sur le
this
PT,
thing
mais je me
does
suis pas
this,
trop spoil,
got
tu
it.
vois.
I can
Mais
focus
j'ai
on
vu
that to
le,
improve my
enfin, j'ai vu
character
tout en
and my
in-game,
player
quoi.
throughout-
Je me suis
throughout
dit,
the
waouh,
game.
c'est
So
trop
that was
bien.
one thing we wanted to simplify. That language back out to the character. What am I picking up here? What is
Mais je regarde honnêtement, et
instead of
dans
mix
tous les cas,
matching them all throughout a bunch of
le
different
replay, je
abilities
le
or
ferai
whatever
sur
it
ma
may be,
chaîne YouTube.
we try to just focus it
Dans
in
tous
one
les
spot.
cas,
For
comme
sure.
ça, moi, tout le
And
monde l'aura.
for players out there wondering, what about my armor rune? I love it. So we actually gave armor per 5 onto the chest piece itself. So you're going to get some armor per 5 and HP 5 as well. So
You want to go over real quick what the armor does? Just real
yeah,
fast?
I can do that. So helmet's going to give you cooldown reduction as you remember it. Armor is chest piece is going to give you HP 5 and armor per 5 up to a set rank. Gloves are going to give you swap speed and reload speed, and the booties,
Donc là, il parle de tous les effets que l'armure peut donner,
Those are quite fun.
c'est très très varié, il y a quasiment tout. Ce que je veux le plus, c'est le Battle Pass ou le nouveau skin. Ouais, bah moi je veux juste le patch, quoi, genre le texte en fait, le patch. Je sais plus s'il est.
It's like, how do you define something for a vision here when we had classes without classes all of a sudden, right? I mean, you want to talk
Je sais pas
about
s'ils
that a
l'ont
little bit?
upload.
Oh yeah. So again, going back to the little old school cool here, we had
Oh.
two visions of Realm Royale, and by we, I
Oh.
definitely not mean me. No.
Oh.
So we had two diametrically opposed
Ok,
ideas
ils
of
l'ont
what
upload.
Realm Royale could be.
Ils l'ont
The
upload, je vous
old school
l'envoie.
Realm, the early Realm, it was classes. It was all about
Voilà,
class-based battle
c'est
royale.
bon.
Definitely
Si vous voulez le
near
patch.
and dear to my heart as an old school player. And then you look at what's
On
currently
a
in the
tout
game,
ça.
and that's more of the
Voilà.
freedom approach, right? Saying, okay, you see a ability, a weapon on the ground.
Mais là d'abord, on va
pick it up, especially
commencer à, évidemment, dire tout ça. Donc, putting the class back, the class pieces and a beer, was super important to us. Ok, donc en gros pour eux, le rework des classes a été très important. C'était leur principal truc. Ils ont tout modifié, toutes les compétences, les mouvements, les armes, les abilities, tout ça. Dans des nouvelles classes à débloquer.
And then your iconic movement ability. And this is again a callback to old school realm here. Just so the warriors are heroic leap, the swords, the blinks, and of course.
J'ai pas obligé en cadeau. En cadeau où ça?
I'm very excited for you guys.
Où ça sur le.
That has been a nightmare to code.
De quoi le Rim Royale, il y a la mage qui est sortie, genre on peut télécharger ou pas?
Those can never change. Those are your movement abilities. Again, from a competitive aspect, you want to be able to like see, okay, a warrior's coming out of me. What can the warrior do? And so that's a big part of locking that class movement. You will be able to upgrade it, and you will be able to find better ones, but you will not be able to change it.
Il y a tout là. Ouais, il y a tout. Il y a tout le patch note.
Combat abilities.
Oh, you don't say.
The combat abilities are abilities that you can actually change and rearrange to your liking. Using Hunter as an example, maybe you want to go flare and proximity trap. Maybe you want to go dodge roll, and you want to go.
But wait a second. Dodge roll sounds like a movement ability.
Yeah. Well, it's a
Du coup, là, il parle
combo.
que le
That's
dodge roll,
what-
donc la roulade de
Well, I mean,
cassis,
part of this
c'est
is,
reward,
like, you know,
et que maintenant c'est un
getting our
grappin.
classes into line with also allowing for customization. More
Ok, ce qu'on peut
movement-based,
comprendre.
versus more ability-based. So, I mean, why don't you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so going back to the class lock.
Dès que je lance mon jeu, je peux me vainquer d'eux, et oui, je viens de faire un match sur Steam. Ok. Ok, ok, bah je vais la faire là. Enfin, quoique non. Enfin, pas maintenant que je stream, sinon ça va me faire lag. Mais je la ferai tout à l'heure. Dans tous les cas, vu ma co, je pense que ça prendra pas beaucoup de temps. J'ai 50 mégabits, je crois, par seconde.
Again,
Donc,
another
ça va pas
callback
être
to
long.
old school realm, you will see a little bit of different staging when it comes to equipping your abilities. For current players, that's going to feel a little bit wonky. I know it takes a little bit of time to get that muscle memory kind of good. But we'll go into specifically.
Pourtant, il a toujours eu le sens de passer à la télé, de faire du spectacle.
Reforged,
De-
but I feel like this is the right choice. And again, so much of what the original patch was supposed to be a foundation patch, right?
Yes.
What is the foundation? What is the template going forward for more classes, more abilities? Let's get the basics right here. Let's get the basics right. So that meant pruning in some cases, and you'll see that in a second. That meant finding what the metas are currently, the toxic metas of Flare, Vision, Soul Gus, Skolo Chaos. Those are being vaulted. Those have been toxic for the last 2.5 years now. So it's back to basics here. Let's get it right the first time. Let's build on this. And I think really this class architect, this system that we have in place here is the system we're going with going forward. And I think it's healthier overall for the game.
I definitely agree. I mean, we're talking a little bit more about the system, and what's happening is there's some systems that you see, and there's some systems under the hood.
Putain,
that we need to do to
c'est
allow us
bon.
to
Le
get
patch
more,
est... Enfin,
suited
je sens
and
que
properly,
ça
right?
va
So
être
we can
super.
add more things to the
Vraiment.
game far simpler than just having to patch it on top. So I think that's a big pillar for us was let's make sure that we are building a solid foundation of experience to the player along with an experience.
Ok, donc maintenant là il parle du grappin.
Speaking of experiences to build on, we've got
Enfin, du-
Hunter on deck first. Oh, look at that sexy skin, that OD skin. So players are gonna be like,
Donc là il
I
parle
knew
que
this was a
le
cash grab.
le
Look at
skin
that
est
sexy
super.
skin. They're gonna make me want to buy that. No, that is actually a skin you're getting for free called the OG.
Ok, ça fait très mal. L'arbalète fait très mal.
However, we're talking about Hunter right now, and we've got Sean on deck
Piu,
right
piu,
now
piu,
playing
ok,
with
d'accord.
Hunter.
Pas mal.
First and foremost,
3
we do have to
skins
talk
de
about the weapons first, though.
graffiti,
Surrounding
2
and head
skins
over
de
to the
poulet,
weapons.
6
We are
skins
looking at
d'avatar,
longbow,
un
the
effet
iconic longbow
de
that
libre,
stays.
téléphone. Ok, d'accord, bah c'est cool, c'est bien à savoir.
Two issues with Hunter weapons right
Et
now.
donc là la
We have
flare est un
Obelisk,
peu plus loin, je pense. Et on voit quand ils sont révélés. On voit quand ils sont révélés.
You're wondering he does talk like this all
Là,
the
ils ont
time.
une petite lumière.
So we
C'est
have
cool.
a dead weapon in the form of the crossbow online, and nobody uses the crossbow. It is not good. And then we have the arbalest that is very hard to balance, and we noticed that similar trend going
Pew, pew.
across all different
Allez,
classes.
tire.
So we said again, let's get back to basics here. Let's figure out this balance rise. So the
Oh man, coming at you butt stout.
I'm gonna need a freeze AI stat on that. Sean throwing it down. He's like, oh no.
Ah mais c'est qu'ils
Don't worry,
sont en
we're
train de
live,
jouer je
baby.
crois derrière.
One thing real quick though.
Il doit y avoir le
to mention
décal
that
parce qu'ils sont en
each
train
class has
de...
two weapons, right?
Yes,
Class
that's
weapons.
Il y a un mec qui est en train
So that's coming up.
de jouer au jeu en même temps d'avoir le son et la caméra je pense.
With the idea that we're going to be adding more class weapons, more abilities.
D'accord.
So,
Nice job.
Mais il existe toujours le solo et le trio, mais le jeu a disparu. Ouais, le jeu a disparu.
drastically different than you guys are used to. It's like a tracking weapon, and of course you've got the iconic
Attends, je vais en mettre.
So those two weapons, Sean knows where a crossbow is, so you can go ahead and show it off a little bit. However, he is going to be rocking that longbow, and we're going to get to that. So, starting with the weapons with a hunter, those two weapons, and of course we're going to go back and say, you know, maybe it's still.
Je sais pas si je vais avec toi, mais bon, voilà.
What does the community want when it comes to hunter weapons? And that is what I'm excited to see coming down the line. But that leads us nicely into
le grappin, by the way,
I'm going to be honest with you. There is a meta right now on live when it comes to specifically Flare. That is not healthy.
En vrai, il est sympa, hein. Le grappin est cool, hein.
Way too easy to get onto the other people.
C'est dessus. Ouais, le duo est parti.
Toxic meta right now. So not only did we have to go class by class, but also kind of utility / system by system. And so for the hunter, you're going to be able to use Flare. Flare now actually starts its cooldown on
c'est stylé.
That'll explode, so if you shoot it into the ground, that cooldown will instantly start. However, if it's in the air, the cooldown will not start until the actual expiration of that projectile itself. And for people out there, you might notice if you get a flare or vision on you as an enemy or a character, you will understand.
Ah, il y a un dragon en plus, ouais. Il y avait un dragon.
So important. So,
Yes.
Donc on sait pas à quoi il sert le dragon.
Sean, I'm fighting against Sean right now, and Sean hits his flare out there, and he hits me with it. I will have a little golden orb above my head telling me I'm under the effects.
Yeah, you can see actually in the
Et la
distance.
flare.
that player does have it even.
Yes, good call on that. That leads us into, we've got iconic.
Ouais, il y a du décalage. Hein.
Royale. We've got the proximity trap. Oh, and the grapple hook. Oh my gosh, Sean's just excited. He's like, let me get right into that thing. I love it. So we're gonna get into that in a second. There we go. There's the hot grapple hook. You know what, Sean? This is your world, buddy. We're living into it. We're talking about the grapple hook here.
La balade tire plus. Ouais, la balade
This has
était
been a
tellement fort maintenant.
tremendous task force on us
C'est
to
ouf.
get grapple hook right. To give a little bit of insight, I remember walking into High Res Studios.
C'est grave stylé, no
day
fake, c'est
one of
super
Royale,
stylé.
And a developer was like, Thor, we're gonna have a grapple hook in our game. 3 years later, that dream was never realized. So it is I'm
Okay.
proud to announce that the hunter has the grapple hook. I'm expecting a lot of hot 360s grapple hook shots as well as that. You can cancel it, you can shoot, you can go up. You have that verticality now. It's very, very, very good. Very good. Very, very good.
I think the flip side of that too is what we want to do is make these characters feel more like the characters you're picking, right? So that was a big change too. Make sure that they stay on theme as much as possible.
Yeah.
And to get that feel out was to really just make sure, wow, is it fun now to play a hunter? Everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is the best.
Maintenant, là, je pense que le Hunter. Ouais, on peut même se mettre là. C'est trop bien.
Key components to making
On peut faire vraiment des trucs sympas maintenant avec le
so I feel
grappin.
like bringing the grappling hook in was just right on.
Grappin, c'est super stylé, mec. Tu peux faire plein de. Je pense des héros Fabius, tu peux vraiment en faire plein.
And we're
Avec
like,
le
no,
grappin.
like this is just the standard now for new abilities. This is fun, this is awesome, let's balance, let's get it out the door. That leads us into the grapple hook.
Mais il y a une
Obviously,
distance
there's
quand
more
même.
things we can do to make it tighten up a little bit. And that's, again, this is the first step here.
But again, yeah, it's phase
Après,
one.
tu descends. Ok, d'accord.
Which is so great. When we push something
Bah, c'est sympa.
super
Honnêtement, c'est super sympa. Super cool.
Instead of making it universal, we go no. Let's think of something more fun, better.
Ah, du
for
coup,
the other
on peut pas
classes,
prendre les armes
so
d'autres
we keep
classes. Hein.
pushing
Ça, c'est
ourselves
bien.
to bring you something new as opposed to just going, just give it to everybody. Like that lets us keep improving the game and pushing the fun like all the time.
Of course, and going back to really the class fluidity here, and if Sean wants to pick up a blast arrow, if he wants to pick up another ability, he can choose what goes into his 2 slots now.
Ouais, c'est stylé. Ok, donc c'est comme le grappin dans Paladin sur Seven.
Let me put that Lightfoot potion into my other ability slot. Let me use that. I want to be a very mobile hunter, right? And that's the kicker there. He can choose what goes into the slots as long as it's a hunter ability or a movement ability. But that kind of
Oh,
wraps
sorry.
up.
Actually, you said a movement ability. You mean
Oh,
a
yeah.
universal ability?
Way to
or-
catch me
Yeah,
flat
no,
on my
I mean,
feet.
because
Yeah.
this is clear. We're trying to get some new nomenclature
Okay.
out there because it's going to be different for old players. So we're still learning them too, right? And
No, I
so
know.
it's totally
I guess
great.
I'm an idiot.
But it's just really fun to be able to customize those 2 ability slots now. It really allows you to tweak your experience.
Ok, donc là, on a fini le Hunter sur les grappins, tout ça, sur l'arbalète, c'était un peu plus vite.
Explosive trap and blast arrow. Go ahead and rock that. I want to put a little dodge roll in there. Put a little dodge roll in there. This is your world. We're just living it. We're creating it. Awesome. And that leads us right into what the mage, the mage.
You're going on a mage? Yes.
Yes.
This is a good one.
Mage. That was one of our problem childs when it came to classes. And
Tu sais comment Thor il est à l'aise, l'autre il est pas du tout à l'aise.
of other abilities, whether it was the Gronks from Paladins, the Ghost Walk, Fireball used to be a thing, it's no longer a thing. Ice Wall was a thing, and so honestly, Mage has suffered both thematically and design-wise over the years of Realm.
Donc là, on va sûrement parler du Mage, du Mage pour l'instant.
Stone Staff. However, what I'm very excited to
Du
share
bâton de
with
pierre,
you
là,
is
il
that
parle.
our first step was to fix it from a thematic perspective. Say, okay, yes, let's make a mage feel more like a mage. So going forward, and we're going to show you in game, the mage is going to have Fire Staff and Ice Staff. And again,
Donc
so
le
we
Mage
just
il
pass
peut avoir
on,
le
but this
Fire
was,
Staff et le
you know,
Ice
shout
Staff,
out to
ok.
show it out here. We sat down and within like
Quand là, quand on voit, ok.
I mean, it's amazing.
Sean is actually a
Blows my
wizard
mind.
when it comes to this kind of
Ok,
stuff.
le Mage
So
il est ok.
the Fire Staff, and for the people on live, and I don't want to go too deep into our history of Realm Royale, you're going to be shooting those mini fireballs, and you're going to be.
Ok, ça fait une grosse boulette.
Currently Ice Staff here, but now it's Fire Staff. It's going to have fire effects. So we're going to put a little bit of fire, a little chef kiss on that Fire Staff.
Kind of felt that way from the beginning, right? She's reloading.
En vrai, c'est pas mal.
Feeling the fire in her hand.
Ça change.
So much more
Du truc qui faisait plus,
Explosive
ça me
fireballs
fait.
is very iconic to what the Mage is. And then if you switch over to the Ice Staff, you're going to see that Ice Staff now ice shards at your target. That's going to be your 3-round burst. It's gonna be very similar to what you Stone Staff is live for those current live players.
Wesh.
It's really saying, okay, let's fix these classes, these weapons, let's get these iconic. And it's a small subtle
Les dégâts, c'est pas un peu fort là? Pardon? C'est quoi ce truc? C'est tellement fort.
Constantly be checking ourselves, like, does this feel enough like a class? Because it's so easy to branch off. Because there's so many cool things to make in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, whoop, you gotta keep them focused, get the cool things for where they really deserve to go. We also seen, obviously, she's got her.
Ça tire 3 shots qui font très très mal.
So
Hein.
she is going to have a sword, and it's actually kind of interesting. This sword is one of the best abilities abilities on live right now. And we are going to be going back to the drawing book saying, how can we spice up Sora a little bit? Because all the other classes have got a little bit of love when it comes to their movement ability. But Sora's still great, still iconic to the,
Wow.
the Mage. But look out, because we're definitely taking a hard look at how to make Sora that much more special. But switching right over to the abilities.
Ok.
We've gotten feedback both internally and externally. It's like, hey, it's not a Mage unless she has a Fireball. And we agreed. Fireball's coming back, baby. Those big fireballs. Now, it's not going to be a 900 fireball on a 4-second cooldown. I know you savages out there remember that. That is not going to be what we bring into the game. We're still looking at a pretty hard-hitting fireball with a little bit of dot.
Là, non, on lance une Fireball. Ok, why not? C'est sympa, c'est original.
But again,
Le Mage, c'est vraiment des sorts, hein, vraiment qu'il a. Et en vrai, c'est cool, hein. J'espère qu'il y a encore le totem, par contre. Un totem,
Going through the list
cool.
here as we go down, and if you guys want to switch back to the main couch, we're going to have Ice Block. Ice Block is back. Ice Block is cancelable now, so that is an iconic thing for players to remember. You know, Matt, if you were a sniper rifle, or an assassin rather, and you went to go shoot me, I could block for a shot with the Ice Block, cancel it, go right back into fighting, right? Kind of have that high use case, high skill cap ceiling of the Ice Block. That's back, as well as Flask of Healing. And again, this goes back to the thematic issues with the Mage.
Ok, donc là, le thème du coup du Mage, c'est que genre, en gros, en gros, là ils ont rework l'arme, du coup le Ice Staff et le Fire Staff, donc le bâton de givre et le bâton de pierre, le bâton de feu. Le Movement Ability, donc l'envol, il le revoit. L'envol ability, combat ability, Fireball, Ice Block, Flash et Flash of Heal. Donc maintenant il n'y aura que l'envol, il n'y a plus de marche spectrale. Donc il y aura le Fireball, il y aura l'Ice Block et il y aura le Flash of Heal. Ok. Donc on n'a plus qu'à découvrir ce que c'est que le Flash of Heal et l'Ice Block qui a été nerf, enfin up dans le sens où on peut maintenant recancel l'Ice Block comme au tout début. Ça c'est cool.
All hail the assassin. Assassin's back, baby. Assassin's back. Assassin.
Moi j'ai juste envie de mettre ma joke. Voilà. Mais je suis pas assassin. Mais je pense que dans quelques mois il y aura une corrective parce que genre si ces trucs sont trop OP ou pas. Ce qui est normal, hein. Il faut que leur PCS là, ils mettent correctement ou sur les vrais serveurs.
The heirloom is les garbage on live. That's French for garbage, everybody. And so we had to go back to the heirloom, say, hey, let's get this thing right. Let's get this thing right. We increased the reload speed on it. We made the damage. Really, we took slug as like, okay, this is a slug rifle. This is the heirloom, right? Where are these two weapons shining most here? Let's kind of get them to where if you're using heirloom from short to short mid range, you're hitting your shots. Heirloom's gonna be the one you're gonna want to take. Slug from mid to mid long. Okay, that can be kind of comparison there. So I think you guys are gonna like it. It's back, baby. Heirloom's back. It has that pretty tight reload speed and the best. I honestly think the best reload animation in the game has that nice whoosh. So that's back.
Ok, le sniper est back apparemment.
Sniper rifle. We fixed the reload bug on it, so the reload bug's fixed.
Ok, donc le bug de rechargement avec le snipe a été nerf, on s'est arrêté quoi. Donc maintenant le snipe one shot plus les chickens, c'est cool. Et c'est un snipe play, genre, je veux le dire. Ah, c'est vrai que maintenant il y a une compétence qui permet de. C'est trop fort. En gros, ce qu'ils viennent de dire là, c'est qu'il y a une compétence qui permet en fait de se cloner pendant quelques secondes, devient invisible et ça tire quelques shots avec un fusil de famille. Et après, il se détruit au bout de 10 secondes. Alors ça fait 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. 4 shots, il reload, après il meurt. Ok.
This is good. This is one of those things where
players
are going to make use to it. It doesn't have that high skill cap ceiling. Very fun, very awesome, very iconic, and so.
La camp peut nous bump par défaut. C'est cool.
It just stands in spot. It does. That's the only thing it doesn't do is run around.
Yeah, it does not run around. So go around a corner, throw it down in the air, throw it down. Use it kind of get away. Actually, can soak up a shot for you. It's not a lot of health.
Okay.
And don't worry. I know what some people might be thinking. Great, Thor, you added another turret in the game. Don't worry. It only does 50 damage a shot, so it's not going to be clapping cheeks out there. It's going to be It's gonna
Donc
be,
il y a le smoke, il y a le
it's gonna
drone
be
qui
a
est
decoy
toujours
for
là,
sure.
smoke, le drone, et la
But
nouvelle compétence
on
avec
the
la
note to
Fnac.
assassin, kind of wrap it up
Ok.
a bit here. His concussion bomb does move him by default, and
Yes.
players will have to experience that in
Donc
game.
par défaut, on
That
peut
was
se move
encountered
avec
a couple
la
times this
concussion
season,
bomb.
as
Ok.
well. Concussion grenade will move you as a default thing now. So some of those moves that you guys were used to from old school Realm Royale, that is going to be back here. That's going to be good to go. You'll remember that, and so that means this blink has always been a very utility. So concussion, a grenade push to a blink. You're going to be very mobile, very agile, and very much what assassin is. Rounding that out, we have smoke screen still in.
Et là, il va
So
finir dans
that has
3,
the same
2,
exact changes.
1. Voilà.
As what Flare
Ok,
does
donc en
again,
fait, ils ont juste du retard parce qu'ils
not decoy, how Center
jouent sur
Drone
le même
was that
PC
again issues with the
qui
visibility meta. So we kind of said, hey, you know, if you have a sensor drone
font
on,
le
you're
test.
gonna
C'est
cover
bof,
the
hein, c'est pas
overhead,
fou. Hein.
leading the players to know when they're
Une
in
idée
vision,
soit les
of
rêves.
course,
Hein,
making it so. We did bring that polarity up though, because Flare was so much better in every single situation. Sensor drone will unveil the whole entire team, much like Flare does. So depending on what the
Ok,
meta is,
et là, l'assassin, on va voir son visage.
for whatever the situation calls for.
Il est magnifique. On dirait bagging,
It's
ça, on
awesome.
dirait qu'il y a
We've got some
une
cool things in the pipeline coming in.
Ça ressemble avec bagging.
Assassin. I'm excited for it. Guys, let me see what you guys bring to the forefront with the
Ouais,
Assassin
le dragon, par contre, j'ai envie de
I'm
savoir à quoi il
That's
correspond.
the best part. Is like let's see what you do with it.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, well, that's why we're ready to share. It was not 100% done because they said we're not done, but we were ready to share. And that's the best part.
And I've been very light-handed when it comes to the Assassin. Everybody, I was like, okay, patch 1, I'm not gonna go ham. Patch 2 though, it's ham.
Watch out! Watch
In
out!
the- and
It's going full on ham.
in
Not
air
full on chicken. Not full on chicken. Come on, it's right. It's just hanging out in front of you.
in air sniping potentially coming back. I'm pushing real hard. I need people to make Reddit posts and be like, we want it back. And then everybody's screaming at everybody else. But that's Assassin. That leads us into our last and final class, the one, the only,
Le Warrior. Donc là, on parlait du Warrior.
Warriors. My other
Alors,
child.
Warrior.
Both thematic
Alors,
issues and design
du
issues.
coup, en arme, il y a le sword, axe et la sword. Donc la hache et la sword. Et l'épée, il n'y aura que ça.
So long live the king.
Alors, on utilise, merci, c'est quand même que je parle. En ability, il y a le bon héroïque Lips, donc c'est le bon héroïque. Donc le movement ability. Et le combat ability, donc il y a Learn Mage, le shield, shoot, tenais, shot et la charge. Ok, donc il y a 4 compétences.
Make it work back in the
Sympa.
day, you know what I mean?
Indeed, I am gonna fault them for that.
Plutôt
However,
cool.
it didn't really make sense. A bolstering shout, commanding shout, like that. Okay, I can understand that. But healing shout, coupled with a talent system that was very toxic, where you pretty much just locked in healing shout and had a get out of jail free card.
Right.
So we had to take steps in order to make sure the class felt good thematic wise, saying, okay, if we're going to add abilities, let's make sure we nail this from a thematic perspective, but also understanding what the balance is for the warrior, because as we'll get into, the warrior has a big balance issue when it comes to the axe. I know it, you know it. People on Reddit and Discord are afraid to say the axe is way too strong. The amount of axes in this game is way too high. However, the other class weapons were really just, number one, they paled in comparison, and they really didn't have the programming and love afforded to those weapons. So going further into Realm Royale's Reforged patch was that, all right, let's get the axe into a good position, right? It's not going to be the axe that you know and love doing 1,150 damage. Like, it's not going to be that. It's going to be one of our hardest hitting weapons, but it's going to have a little bit less range. It's going to be coming off the hand a little faster, right? But it's not going to. So on live right now, Matt, you actually reach all the way back. You reach all the way back. You grab the axe and you throw it, leading to a very slow axe. Hard hitting.
Donc maintenant, le Warrior, qu'il est,
Let's bring some of the damage
toujours le
down. Let's
bon,
get
en
that axe
classique.
feeling good as well, but it's only going to be doing right around 830 damage, still within the breakpoints that you guys know.
Le bon est sympa.
But when
Comme
combined
d'hab,
with
hein.
rage, it's going to take that
Il y a son cooldown qui s'est réduit.
So I am still worried about the axe. I feel like it's going to be very strong.
Donc là, il y a le Guerrier, le cri genre qui est en train de se faire.
He's hitting that in rage.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I know we
Ok.
get excited.
What we stick with for a
Là,
second,
je tire un
that's
peu plus vite, mais fait
great
mieux.
question.
C'est bien, j'ai l'impression.
The sword of I call it the sword of Omans because this has been an absolute nightmare to try to balance. So we vaulted the hammer. We have some pretty good ideas.
Donc le Q, son Q, c'est quoi? C'est
to be determined. But the hammer and the axe always overshadow.
c'est une sorte de heal. J'ai l'impression qu'il monte colère, un truc comme ça, ou genre qui te booste. C'est cool en vrai.
It was also same but different. So like you really said, it was too close, and then you were pick the axe. So
Ok, donc je pense que maintenant on peut shooter un peu moins loin avec la hache, donc c'est plutôt cool. Ça veut dire faire un sniper hache. Là, le snipe à 10 km.
Back to the sword and say, hey, how do we make this a fun, interesting gameplay element here? Melee in general has always been a crux to us. It's saying, okay, what can we do with melee? And so this isn't that patch. So you will be seeing the sword. Now, going back to the warrior here, he does have the new shiny heroic leap. You're going to have a little bit more movement of fortitude. You're going to be able to get a little bit farther, harder, better, faster, stronger was always the underlying theme when it came to our abilities. So you will notice how heroic leap does feel a little bit better here. However, if you want to put charge in your inventory, do it. Go put charge in the inventory. If you want to put enrage in your inventory, you want to be more of a tanky warrior, go enrage, shielding shout. We did a lot of improvements with shielding shout as well to make it easier to put an application on. It lasts a little bit longer. There was a bug on live right now causing white shielding shout to be just stronger than any other. So we said, hey, let's increase the
Bon bah,
rarity.
là je te fais nerf. Et là, ce que vous voyez en deuxième arme, c'est une nouvelle arme qui est super, c'est une sorte de mini sniper qui est super cool, super sympa à jouer.
Saying, okay, brutality is a thing for the warrior here. Let's scale versus rarity. Let's take these cooldowns down. We'll talk about cooldowns in general when it comes to the mastery and loadout and talent situation. But swinging back to the warrior there for a second, sword, you will be able to make use of a sword. It's not going to be, I think, as viable as that axe is. I think axe is going to be the utilitarian weapon when it comes to the warrior. However, give us some time, guys. We will get it right. And we are already theory crafting and already got kind of in conception here what is coming down the pipeline for the warrior. Very excited, but that is not a this patch thing. That's a super.
Donc là, il nous dit pas plus d'infos sur les études de
abilities, however, that leaves us with one more, and that is the net shot. Net shot. Net shot has seen better days online. Nobody usually runs it, and so.
Ok, donc il parle du bas de passe.
Slow down the enemy. However, if you catch a mage or a hunter in the middle of the use of the ability, let's say a mage is soaring at you, and you see them flying at you, hit them with a net shot. That net shot's gonna actually drag them downwards. It's gonna interrupt their ability, catch them flat-footed, and you'll be able to make a play off of that. So net shot is back. Give me some feedback on net shot here, and let me know how you guys like it, because quite frankly, I'm excited to see some of the net shot plays coming out. So, wrapping out the warrior here, you've got heroic leap, you've got net shot, you've got your shielding shout,
Du coup, warrior.
And I guess we can end with what makes enrage
Ouais, bah, on l'a déjà vu en fait.
Attack speed by up to 30%. It's going to give you 5% more damage on use, and of course, it's going to give you lifesteal, is what I wanted to say. Whew, caught me live. So we wanted to remove healing shot because it wasn't thematic anymore.
Right.
But that left us with a hole in the playstyle saying, hey, now go earn your lifesteal. That is important. Go earn your health back. It's not a fire and forget. You're going to jump in there. You're going to hit your enrage. You're going to steal the health from your enemies, and that is, of course, more thematic too.
D'accord. Okay.
Which is what we always like to do.
Yeah, awesome. That leads us into really. He's showing off that enrage. There we go. Shot hitting some enrage there. Oh, look at that little fire effects. Great job with part of
Ouais, en gros, ça augmente les dégâts, je pense. C'est une sorte de fureur, un truc comme ça.
Keeping the communication, the player, and your enemy like in the forefront, so everybody knows what's going on.
Ok.
Like,
excusez-moi.
That's such a huge thing.
Ouais, donc c'est super. En vrai, trop content.
Not just new stuff for the classes, right? We have different universal stuff to talk about, which is exciting for sure.
Yes, so honestly, Sean, you're on it, buddy.
Donc là, on parle du mini sniper.
New things when it comes to the universal pool. So the universal pool is, of course, things that anybody can pick up. They're not going to be tied thematically to any one class. They're going to be things that you know and love, that you've seen, that anybody can pick up. One is going to be the Lightfoot Potion. As you can see,
pas de la
hit me with a
potion,
jump, Sean. Hit me with a hot jump.
En gros, la potion permet vraiment de se très haut. Et tu déplaces plus vite.
Are those wings on your feet?
That is wings on your
Ah, il est
feet.
super.
So I pushed very hard to have a very silly
Nyon.
as you had it. Obviously, copyright. Don't get us copyright. But yes, we wanted to put some wings on there. We wanted to throw some. It's called the Lightfoot Potion. It's going to make you jump higher, run faster.
Oh, vraiment, les gars, c'est super. Vraiment, vous rendez compte, c'est wow. C'est énorme.
And of course, if that's your intention of getting to playing more of a mobile class, right?
Absolutely.
And you can put it on your allies. You can also, and I hate to say this out loud because I don't know how long it's going to last, you can actually stack them. So if you and your friends are all rolling up with a Lightfoot Potions internally and externally, we're like, this is so fun. It might be a little broken, but we got to keep it.
We got to see what happens. See what happens.
Exactly. But it's very fun, very awesome, and I think we.
Donc là, il parle comme quoi, genre, c'est super formidable, c'est très cool, machin.
Reforged, when we introduce a new ability, is it fun, right? And then it falls on to kind of my shoulders to make, is it balanced? And so it's gone through a couple iterations here. I think we kind of landed on a really good version, but that leads us correctly into the auto sniper rifle.
Actually, one thing I wanted to jump back for classes real quick if we could, is that we did add another thing. class chests.
Ooh.
I think that maybe for classes you can talk about that real quick, right?
Yes.
Like what the heck is a class chest?
What is a class chest? So, you know, with adopting old school Realm Royale principles, it came with it a lot of hurdles. And one of those was saying, okay, if the classes are locked to what they can use plus universal abilities, we needed to target something economically for you as a player to be able to say, okay, I'm going to open this chest and get these things out of this chest that is specifically for me. This is targeted
Ok.
early. This fixes a lot
Donc
of
apparemment, il y a
things
des
in
nouveaux
making
chests,
his way over to a class
Yeah, all right.
chest.
nouvelles textures, il y a plus de loot, des
I
trucs
noticed, and a
intéressants.
lot of other players noticed that economically speaking,
Ouais, ok, c'est cool.
it was very weird meta, where they would do what's called the train, and they would follow behind each other, and if it was trios in particular, and especially for competitive, they would go and try to loot, but they'd all three be in a line, and what would end up happening is they would pour shards on the one player, and the other players would not
Les
have
gobelins
really
sont
loot at all. They would have
ont
very
le
limited
même
white
codage.
slug, green slug,
Du coup, il
and
fuit
then
la
they would
balle.
get into a fight, and eventually get the kind of loot they
Ok.
needed. We definitely saw a need for some economy stimulus for the actual abilities and weapons themselves. So this is going to be very important for the
D'accord.
first
Ok.
minute to 2 minutes of a gameplay. Find those class chests. Those are going to have your green versions of your weapons in there. They are very much balanced for early game, so let me be very clear. They're not going to be as powerful as the purples or the legendaries, of course. And those green weapons and class chests are going to be, again, what you use in order to get to that forge.
Ok, donc il
On
n'y a
top of
que à
the
partir
items I
des
mentioned,
green,
this is also going to be a way for new players
green
to
qu'on
find
peut
out
avoir
what is their
dans les
class
grandes
ability,
chests,
what
dans
is
les
their
grandes
class
chests
weapon,
au-dessus.
which is so important.
Find
Custom.
out along the way in game. We love that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly.
Donc
And so,
1600 le headshot,
for all intents and
enfin
purposes, you
1800,
know, early game new players, they
1800,
don't
enfin
know that the
1000,
fire staff
1008
and ice
le
staff is
headshot,
actually
pardon.
afforded to the mage. They just don't know that because they haven't gone to a
Pas
forge.
mal.
They don't know the forge mechanics.
Ça fait un petit
And so
sniper,
really
sympa.
what those green class weapons are doing is easing those new players into that scenario.
Ok.
So Sean is showing off the universal weapon called the auto sniper rifle. That is a long distance weapon, slower projectile
Non,
speed,
slug
3
rifle,
rounds.
ok,
We're
comment dire, il y
actually
aura
going to
plein
be dealing
de
with
lots
scope, and some of the
custom.
sounds here is not finalized. However, that's going to be, because we locked the sniper rifle to the assassin themselves, this is going to be a way for you, the player, to get into the mix of long-range combat without taking away that class identity from the assassin, right? The assassin still is going to shine in that role. Let's be very clear here. However, you will be able to punch upwards with that universal sniper rifle, auto sniper rifle rather, and that is our first two forays into new class abilities, a universal class ability and universal class weapon, with many more to come.
Yeah, one thing you can tell in the UI now too, when something else is back, is the red X symbol above something that is just you can't use.
Yeah.
Right. Your team could probably use it, but you just.
Ok,
are
donc
not
du
big
coup, la
into it.
nouvelle arme,
This isn't for you.
il
Shard,
voulait
if you
du
want,
coup ajouter une
me
nouvelle
too,
arme
mate, I got
pour aider au
XYZ
combat à
here.
longue
You
range,
want it? Nope. Nope, Shard
donc
ain't
à
yours.
longue distance.
Kind of go in that approach.
Plutôt sympa, plutôt
Yes,
cool.
yeah. Whew.
Sympa.
There's been a
Yeah,
lot
man.
of
That's a little bit of change so far.
yeah, just a little.
And we're only
C'est une
1/10
sorte
of the way
de,
through.
c'est du
That
coup
is
un auto-sniper
not
apparemment.
true. We
Ouais.
are we're farther than that.
Yeah.
Don't sign me up for a long trip. I'm kidding. We had a game to run. We got things to do.
Yeah, right. Come on. I want to go play.
So that leads us into the next big pillar when
Yeah.
it comes to loadouts, mastery, talents, all that kind of shenanigans.
Donc là, on va parler
This was another
des talents.
huge change. So one
Giant
thing,
pillar, because of all the changes
Du
we
coup, il y
want
a
to
des
do,
nouvelles classes à
we're
balader,
sort
donc
of
des nouvelles
fracturing
habilités de
that
classe,
pillar that was in
les
older
talents,
versions,
tout
right, to make
ça,
sure that we split them apart
les
properly
sortes de,
to make sure that it
toutes
wasn't
les
like too weak.
légendaires, les sortes de
So, go
compétences
ahead,
spéciales
tell
avec
what you did,
les
man.
armes
I like it.
ou les
It's like, and
habilités
then,
qu'on pouvait
what
avoir.
did you do, man? Well, because we had this idea, and then we pitch out the vision, and Forrest is like,
Du coup, il y a un nouvel
go
système de
do this, we
reward,
got
de
this.
skill
So,
progression,
So
ok.
let's talk about what players love. Players love loadouts. Players love being able to
Sympa.
say, hey, I love this like playstyle. I want to guarantee that playstyle, right? So loadouts are not changing. The only thing about loadouts that are changing is the fact that you can go into your loadout and say, I want a sniper rifle if you're playing assassin, I want my decoy, and I want my concussion bomb. When I go to my forging game, that will still be the stale. It'll still be the thing.
they'll stale be there.
I'm down south in Atlanta.
Like I said, he does this all the time. I don't know who you are. I have no idea. I just met you today.
That'll still be a thing. So loadouts not changing, and in fact, you'll see that reflected in your class forge when you go to a forge. What is changing is both talents and mastery. So let's start off with the great, and then go into the good, and then amazing. So cooldowns across the board are getting lower, and this is something that just frustrates me on live right now. You pick up a ability and it has a 45-second cooldown. That really grinds my gears. I hate it. You hate it. We all hate it. We all hate for ice cream.
Donc là, on va passer dans tout ce qui est ability dans pas longtemps. C'est super. Pour l'instant, là, on a fait du coup les classes, nouvelle arme, et il ne manque plus que du coup les correctifs de nerfs, tout ça, etc. Les skins, tout ça.
talent by talent by talent by talent by talent, and wrapped a lot of those cooldowns and little shiny nuggets back into the actual abilities themselves. And so this was a
that is a huge endeavor. So like when we say that the abilities may have changed or gotten better, or whatever, he took what was great about the talent system, everything we had there, and jammed it back into the game day one. Right, that's a huge fact. I think is like you didn't have to wait to get this great fun play experience. Right, where like day one you have it there. It's just the ability is just that way now.
Yeah.
And I think that that's great. That's just something I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I think it makes day one gameplay.
Ils n'ont même pas d'être mon link, donc ce sera un bon link apparemment.
Was a very negative, not only to new players, but veteran players had that intrinsic knowledge of what was afforded
Oh, yeah,
to them
Damas.
system that made them better players, inspired,
Good.
for example. And so that sucked as a new player. You'd come in and you'd get clapped, and you're like, why? And it's like, not only do the players know the game inside and out for the last, I don't know, 2 years on the same exact patch, but they also have those talents and abilities that you just can't have as a new player.
Mon ami Crow vient de mettre son petit
Talents
live.
are no longer a thing. We
On va
may
s'en
wrap
le
that
host
back
après.
in a fun, cool, unique way, but talents are no longer gone. They are wrapped back into the abilities themselves, lower abilities, and also when Jim Bob comes to play the game, they're like, well, I can't play the longbow because I got to put 80 hours into it. You tell him, hey, Jim, go ahead and load up that longbow in your loadout. You're good. So that's great for new players.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about the loadout a little more and how it's going to connect with the Forge?
Maybe
not yet.
We touched on that a little bit. So
Yeah.
what you choose in the loadout will be in your class forge. So you go into the game, you say, hey, I want my combat ability 1. Remember, because your movement abilities won't change, it can only be upgraded. You will no longer.
Donc il y a des mouvements de politique qui ont été changés, qui ont été upgrade et qui ont été améliorés.
Forge and upgrading it is actually the shortest amount of time. So we did kind of do.
Attends, c'est plus de la parlotte entre deux que des informations.
That upgrade on your movement ability in the forge, it is going to be a very 15 seconds instead of the now normalized 30 seconds. But that's no longer in the loadout system. That is iconic movement ability, but you'll have combat ability 1 and combat ability 2. It's up to you decide what you bring into combat in the loadout page.
Absolutely. That's great.
And that leads us into the mastery system. Hi-Res Adam, tell me, what are we doing with the mastery?
So we called it mastery before, and this was a mix of all these different things. And once we pulled a lot of that out, there wasn't a whole.
Ce qu'on a pu mettre du coup au début du patch, c'est que c'était une petite équipe s'occuper de Reward. Et une petite équipe pour eux, c'est genre 10 personnes, pas plus. Donc en vrai, faut les comprendre, ça va aller lentement, mais ça va être sûr.
That's the guy right here.
You guys actually sent it to me. No, so what we wanted to do is redefine what mastery could mean moving forward. So we have that system that is on the table for sure. But what we're delivering for launch right now is still a way to play a specific class and get progression through that class and get some goodies along the way. Yeah. Really, that's what the phase 1 sort of this is. And we
Je sais pas si celui-là.
Forward to the future class. I'm sorry, not future class, future mastery system.
NTBs.
Actually, also teaching you how to be a better, more pro player. So we wanted mastery to mean you have mastered this. So it's going to really mean something when you get that 100% or you filled in one of the abilities or the weapons through your playing and the things that were required to do so. But yeah.
So that is coming in 2.0. That is the design I've seen what you've been working on in the forge internally, in the internal forge, and that's looking absolutely amazing.
Right now you'll be able to play as a specific class, get certain EXP towards, like I said, some shiny stuff.
Yes.
We'll go from there. So.
The hot little master, that season 1 mastery team. Big shout out to the Smite design team for telling us about this in the last hour, and I have to piggyback on this for a second. Again, this comes back to how proud I am of the team. Right, this was in the final hour. We were like, okay, we've ripped out all the important parts of mastery system. Right, put that back in the game, loadouts, talents, the abilities, and all that kind of stuff. And this was the final hour. We were like, okay. We're done. Let's lock it up. Let's get this patch out. And then we had some internal feedback from very special people and external people at the ODP that said, Thor.
Donc là, on va passer au feedback, du coup, au patch.
Let's
concrètement.
Something more, right? And so not only have we given you more skins, not only have we given you more items and avatars and sprays and stuff like that, we said, hey, let's show them what we're capable of. And so at the last hour, we put in a lot of, I don't want to say overtime, but it was overtime.
We're getting it done.
we're getting it done, baby.
We got it done,
And so we put this 1.5 system in here. As you go through the track here, you'll be able to unlock a skin at the very end that is iconic to the class here. Very excited to show that off. And I just got to say, from a player perspective and knowing what I know on the internal and then being able to divorce myself from a player / a designer developer, you guys rocked it. You guys really did. This is a final hour thing. You said, hey, what else can we give the player here? And so, and I know it might come off as like self-praising. I'm not saying that because quite frankly, I didn't do the mastery system here, but I looked at what you guys came up with.
Okay.
You guys definitely put the hats
Yeah,
off
I
to you
mean,
guys.
that's the biggest thing is we're trying to give back as much. Like, just play. We just want you to play.
We just
and,
play.
and then, hey, this is what you got for playing. Thanks a lot.
Hey.
This is how we do this, you know?
Oh yeah. So,
All right, so what we got?
that talks about additional features coming down the pipeline, my friend. I don't know, like a big fire breathing.
Putain, ils font pitié avec leurs feuilles.
What are you talking about?
Ils font tellement
No,
pitié.
I don't know.
Okay, gonna be super updated and develop it with the community and
Can I
begin
have a smaller?
your all along
Actually,
a bit
Would that be possible?
for the rights,
Yeah, there
but
is a
we don't
there is
want
a
to spoil
presence on our
everything
map
right now.
that
We know we
we've
started.
seen internal data.
Ok, en gros maintenant, ils vont pas tout spoil parce qu'on a vu dans le trailer du coup un dragon, enfin le trailer dans le bout de trailer qu'on a vu. Mais on a vu un dragon et il va pas nous spoiler à quoi il va servir, qu'est-ce que ça sera machin. Donc, ça sera une sorte de une petite surprise machin. Mais c'est cool, ils disent pas tout. Ça nous découvre après. C'est en jouant qu'on
Yeah, again,
découvrira et puis
we're
voilà.
talking about the things we want to just deliver to you guys, and we want to share everything with you, but we're not going to share everything because we want to keep a little bit of mystery, a little bit of fun, a lot of the story stuff going on there, but we want to just give tidbits here and there for you to discover too, because that's a big part of it, right? That discovery feeling is so great. So keep your eyes out. That's what I just have to say.
Open.
Yeah.
I think we talked about a rock that is just a rock until you approach it and the rock like lid kind of squeaks open.
That's
Why
cool.
did you say that?
We got a lot of dumb ideas floating around. A lot
Actually,
of cool
I feel
things.
that's a great idea. It's a secret rock chest.
This is the rock.
Ouais, donc là, il rigole par rapport aux
But
gros chats, là,
yes,
les gros coques qui sont
the
super,
dragon, is
super
this
gros.
really a thing, or is it?
Ouais, en fait, non. En fait,
Non,
non, pas du tout. Je ne dirais pas que là, pour l'instant, je ne comprends strictement rien. Mais sinon, on a plutôt presque tout compris de ce qu'il y a de plus intéressant.
Conservators, like the Horn of Gondor. You guys came out and you guys seen improvements with the server. It's not perfect. Let me be very clear right now. It is not. It is.
Again, another thing we're not
Ok,
done.
quick, donc une rapide overview of the work, du travail qui contient. Ok. Là, ils vont pas nous montrer une petite vidéo aussi, il me semble. Une petite vidéo sympathique là. Thor, petite vidéo là.
So our performance team has done leaps and bounds. They've worked on it hard. We've gotten better servers into our fleet here. We're going to have actually a write-up really discussing exactly what that means and how we're making improvements going forward. Very proud of that team. We're not done yet. We are not done yet. And
We're still thrilled with what we got. That's the best part. It's like we're looking to the future so much, but we're also still thrilled with right now. Like what it is it's. I'm just so excited with all of the support too from every angle of the studio. Really, just
especially
giving, just yes, you feel like I support you. Let's go with this. So it's just fantastic.
As a thank you to you, the community, look underneath your chair. You're going to find about 100 crowns. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't blame that on me.
I don't get them. We don't ever get this stuff. We don't get this stuff.
But again, this is a work in progress, guys. Please be patient with us. And of course, on today of all days.
Donc là, ça se sent Thor, il a envie de passer vite à la vidéo, tout ça, directement. Il a envie d'arriver chez lui et jouer à Rimworld directement là. Ah là, ça se sent.
We're tracking it, constant communication with you guys, and thank you. Just at the bottom of my heart, thank you, because it's a lot better. So let's talk about thank yous by giving them an OG bundle, hashtag not a cash grab.
What a segue.
Whoa, what a segue.
Ok, donc le OG Bundles.
Yes,
Donc c'est le free pack qu'on aura.
Look at that, man. They're shiny. They got gold on them.
Donc c'est des gold skins.
Bundle, everybody. Yes, you too can rock the OG
Avec des
bundle.
armes un peu gold, sympa, avec des armes gold.
You are what we
Mais c'est
strive
un
to
gold,
be.
c'est juste des gold skins classiques.
Like a Christmas morning coming down the stairs and you're gonna find that amazing skin.
Ok, c'est juste
But that's not all.
beautiful.
You get a chicken skin. Oh, look at
Ah, du coup, oui, alors on a les chicken skins, donc bien sûr, c'est ce qui était dans le PTS.
You're gonna get an avatar. Look at that little avatar.
Ouais, on a tous les avatars.
You know, the
Ok.
class of your choice.
Saying,
Whichever you choose.
saying you're an OG. You did it. You stuck with us. And then, of course, let's look at that.
On a le loading screen. Ok.
It's beautiful.
How you doing? Good to see you. And last but not least, of course, we've got the spray. The spray. I'm trying to hold together here with that spray. What it says. How did we get that through in our game? Yeah, there's gonna be a spray. Go ahead and check that out. I think it might not be the most used spray in our game. Go ahead and just show that off when you guys get in game because it's gonna be a real fun spray. Here we go.
There you go.
Le spray, c'est Gigi et un PQ, je crois, une vague.
Twitch chat. Twitch chat.
GG baby.
There's a YouTube video. Get something. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Let's get out of here because there was walking that line between having fun
Nice spray.
and getting sent to HR. Oh.
Oh, le phénix
Adorable.
en poulet, par contre, il est magnifique. Hein. Il est super mignon, super beau.
Those
Wow.
are the OGs. This is for the current, the present, the new faces here. This is for anybody actually who's playing our game. This will be coming down the pipeline during this patch here. We don't know exact timing on when it's going to be launched, but if you play the game between now and this date, you're
Waouh,
going to
j'ai juste envie de dire waouh.
Forged in Fire bundle. Not only are you going to get this cute little Phoenix chicken skin that is staring into the very depths of my soul and
Donc
knows
là, il montre le
exactly
chicken
what I
skin.
have on my computer tab.
Là, on va
That scares me.
du coup repasser.
Shut down now. Cut down.
Donc
We're also going to be able to get
autres,
some community-based
les autres
artwork here.
buttons,
Shout out to
comme ils
Maverick,
appellent les
who
buttons.
came in hot with those
Donc on va
support
arriver au patch
avatars.
1.
That's such a great thing too, right? I mean,
Phoenix
what
Kill,
better way to like, you know, get involved with the
3 trucs
community?
de
Fantastic.
chargement,
Absolutely great job on that.
avatar, 2 avatars,
And
2
got some
sprays,
other things sprinkled in there, but again, these are only things afforded to players that
Skydive,
don't cost a
Skin,
lot, or at the
Phoenix
very least,
Wing.
you know, $5
Okay.
because it's very cheap. But yeah, excited about that. It was a way to us to take a step back and say thank you. I mean, the reason why I'm here, the reason why you're here is because of you, the community. At the very least, we could give you guys this, and because yeah, throughout the whole tapestry that is Realm Royale Reforged, you guys are the threads. You guys are the binding connections here with us, and so
Absolutely.
let's us do what we do. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to be in this seat, getting yelled at by my team and you guys, and I love it. I love what I get to do for sure.
Every day, baby. It's great.
So we've updated you about the game. Let's update you on the updates coming down the pipeline here.
Donc là, attends,
Realm Royale,
il devrait
this is
passer
not
aux
a case,
updates.
Realm Royale Reforged,
Du
rather.
coup,
This is not a
Well,
case of,
update,
hey, cool, you dropped something,
Cadence
and see you
Plane.
later. Ooh, dab it out of
Donc,
here, and we'll never see you again. Dad, come back to the store,
Quest
please.
not
This is not one of those cases.
done.
Can't record.
Update. Donc là, ils vont essayer de faire des jeux assez réguliers.
So
Ils
we
vont faire
are
des mises à jour
shooting
très
for a 6-week
régulières.
update cadence
Avec des
and
nouveaux
patch by
stuff,
patch by
des trucs
patch.
comme
Give
ça.
you
Et on
guys
parle
what you
des
want.
informations
This is the
sur
time
leurs
we
médias.
mention here to you guys to spring
Pour les
meadows.
updates, donc ils vont
By
essayer
spring, I
d'être
mean very
avoir un
fortunate to
planning,
tell us
enfin
what
de
you guys like
d'updates
and
assez
don't like.
réguliers.
This is the
Je sais pas
dialogue
encore
that we mentioned
tous les
earlier.
combien de temps,
It's
mais
like, hey, let's take a
il
step
faudrait que
back.
ce soit régulier.
Reforged means we're reforging it with you, right? We don't. Our game's not done, but it's open. We're opening the doors now to let you guys.
En vrai, c'est bien qu'ils fassent pas de regular update tous les 2 ans. Quoi. Parce que si tous les 2 ans ils font une update, bon.
But PTS.
Yeah.
PTS. We had a
Exciting.
PTS. In the future.
Quelqu'un il parle du PTS, ok.
PTS Thor. So when I first joined it was like my first interview process, and they were like, Thor, you know, what do you believe very strongly in? And I think some of the OG Royale players will remember this. Our PTS cycle was not good. I would just like, frankly say it was not good. And to me, a PTS has always been a very important dialogue. It's about building trust.
Donc ils disent que PTS, un PTS est extrêmement important, que c'est ce qu'il faut tenir à jour, tout comme ça, machin. Pour que tout le monde soit tenu au jus.
Matt, I'm showing you what we worked on. You say, cool, Thor, and you're a massive community member in this case, and he says, what about X, Y, and Z? Could you tune this? Can you tweak that? And I say, you know what, Matt? You're right, buddy. You're right. Give me a couple days, and then we'll submit the build. And earlier PTS is where the build will be submitted, and if you don't know this, I know this is developer speak, but we now have built in a couple days, 4 or 5 days after we do a PTS to make actionable changes on the build, and that is so important. I can't tell you how important that is. We're not
Donc ils veulent que le PTS shoot out, donc la community, du coup il veut que la community évolue, que ce soit transparent, il faut que ce soit transparent, parce que c'est super important, que l'équipe use pour que tout le monde use des PTS, qu'on puisse dire en mode ça c'est bien, ça c'est nul, c'est trop OP, c'est trop fort, c'est trop faible, comme arme par exemple, comme compétence. Donc c'est cool. Donc ils veulent que le PT soit tenu à jour, tout ça, que ça va aussi.
Act on it, send it out. 6 weeks later, you're gonna see it.
Absolutely, that's our scheduled plan right now, right? But it's like, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, we'll see how everything goes. But we really, our focus is make the game great, make the game better, moving forward. So if we got to do a little bit of shifts here and there, you know, well, hopefully we'll be able to keep the game great.
Yeah. And I guess that gets us into really, not only did we talk about PTS, but a little bit of a shout out here. Not only because you guys obviously gave a lot of effort onto the PTS, gave us that kind of feedback. Time to talk about a group of individuals in the shadows, lurking. No, I have to do a quick little call out here to the what we are referring as the ODP. There's been a group of individuals from oh my gosh, it seems like a long time ago, that joined us on day 1. These people were chosen based on a couple criteria, but more importantly, they've put time and effort in here that has been unmatched. Yeah, absolutely.
Ok, donc
unbelievable. So,
là du coup il remercie les devs qui sont arrivés à leur fin. Donc merci d'avoir regardé cet extrait lecteur de mémoire de Forge. Compare to the new Dream Royale Update. Ouais, donc maintenant, il faut vraiment aller jouer maintenant, les gars. Le mise à jour est disponible sur Steam. Du coup, il y a plein de lootbox à voir. Et du coup, je vous dis surtout follow Game Royale sur Twitter pour se tenir aux infos parce que c'est là où ils sont plus actifs.
That is the theme here, bringing you guys in every step of the way. We got a lot of cool
Et
plans,
si c'est la fin de Game Royale, alors fin du live, je vous dis que ce sera la fin aussi pour
Yeah,
lui.
sure. I
Parce
mean, one
que
thing I want to say is I feel like Realm
quasiment en
Rail,
même temps que.
Reforged, but like Reforged in like passion. I think every team member of the ODP, whomever it is, people.
Mais on a pu voir comme quoi
Everybody is putting so much
il y a
passion
encore plein de
into this,
nouveautés
even their ideas,
qui
their
vont
time,
arriver.
their effort, their artistic
Et on n'est
skill,
pas au
like,
bout de
you
nos
know,
surprises.
everything.
Ça, c'est
I
super
feel like
cool.
that's like the best part about this is like everybody is pouring passion into this project again because there was something there and we want to like revitalize that so much. So I'm so excited to be a part of that and just for you guys to play and just let your friends play and just tell everybody about it. Best game ever.
I love it. I love it. I'll just wrap
Donc
this
là, ils
up.
disent que c'est le meilleur
First and
jeu
foremost, this is
ever,
our
mais
first step.
c'est juste
We're
pour
gonna make
vendre leurs
mistakes. We're
produits,
gonna
quoi.
argue with each other. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect. Nobody here is perfect. Okay. I ask you a couple things. Number one, let us make some mistakes. Let us dream a little bit, right? We are going to make some mistakes, but we're going to communicate those out. We're not going to agree on everything, right? But we aren't responsible for the sins of our father, but man, we promise to give it our all. What I've seen over the last 3 months,
Yeah.
has just been put into the grindstone, and I'm proud. I'm immensely proud of what my team has been able to do. When I say my team, I mean our team, but sports talk. That leads us into my second plea, guys. This is our last best shot at this. So I'm speaking specifically to you, the sweaty players. There's gonna be a lot of new players coming into our community. Think about very clearly what kind of player you want to be. Are you gonna be the player that just says "get dunked on," right? Are you gonna be the player that says,
Attends, il fait
"You're gonna
peur.
get my hand.
Putain.
Get involved with the community. This is what this ability does. This is what this cooldown is." Because we know you're good. We know you're good. Please, guys, I'm asking you, almost quite frankly begging you to let's
Attends, nous parle à nous, oui.
show them why Realm Royale is so special. Why
Il trouve que vraiment c'est tellement un jeu qui est spécial et qui mérite quoi que tout le monde y joue.
We're gonna shut up and get back to work. You know what I mean? That is our theme. That is our tempo. That is our heartbeat, right? And I'm excited for the future because it's gonna be one full of Realm Royale Reforged, baby.
Absolutely.
There it is. Well, that's it. Boop, servers are live. Get out there, go play, get
Du coup, ils
good,
disent que les serveurs sont prêts d'aller jouer, se jeter sur le jeu.
Let me know how it
Et
feels.
c'est évidemment ce que nous allons faire maintenant.
Yeah. You'll find